Yeah. All right. Thank you very much on that. Let's quickly jump to the next discussion we had that has to do with the reaction of His Excellency P2B just recently. For want of time, let's listen to what His Excellency P2B had to say that that got everybody talking. Everybody is just on this as of today. I wonder how we feel about it. I see that Angel and Mr. Obin Koro here are eagerly waiting to lay their own reaction to that. But I don't really see much that is being said now. Said before. Is it the reaction or what? So let me start with you, Obin Okoro. But let's first listen to what His Excellency Mr. P2B said that is causing these reactions.
You cannot have a minority person sitting in government with everything, chasing everybody out, destroying everything. We must change it and have proportional representation so that the legitimate solution. That has people not to impeach me. Today, the president impeaches the person. So that is the thing that is for us. They were taking my house not to impeach me. And they were in PDP. I was in Africa. And they were begging. President was calling me and said, Peter, are you okay? Even when I was in peace, President Basanjo called me and said, are you okay? Are you safe? When I go back from the court, when court eventually declared me under Nduba, President Yeradua called my phone in London and said, congrats. I said, President, I can't come back because, if I come back, these people, he said, tell me the flight in which you're coming back. And I told him, when I came in the first time, military people came to it in about 1999. If you look at where we are today, it's like they started in 1999, laid the foundation. Some people came and took it a decking, and some people were trying to raise it to first floor, and some people came and knocked everything down. That's the situation where we are now. Everything has been knocked down. Nothing works. And I'm somebody who can say this exemplarily. I became a governor through the court when President Obasanjo and Atiku were governors. I did not pay the court one error. I was sitting in my house in the office, and the court declared me winner. When the government is not student, it can't happen in Nigeria today. When I was being impeached, the president sent people to come and intervene on my behalf. Ken Naman came begging House people not to impeach me. Today, the president impeaches the person. So that is the thing that is for us. They were begging my house not to impeach me. And they were in PDP. I was in Africa. And they were begging. President was calling me and said, Peter, are you okay? Even when I was in peace, President Basanjo called me and said, are you okay? Are you safe? When I go back from the court, when court eventually declared me under Nduba, President Yeradua called my phone in London and said, congrats. I said, President, I can't come back because, if I come back, these people, he said, tell me the flight in which you're coming back. And I told him, when I came in the first time, military people came to me at the airport. I couldn't believe it. I took me straight to him. Now the president will ask me not to come back here again. So insane. Let's not talk about it. Let's talk about how we are going to do it. It's collapsing.
Is so the audience in this very place, I can see the reaction of people. So Angel, I see they show your 36 and all of that.
Yeah, the audience, you are so happy because his sympathetic nature or his sympathetic voice is gone. He's more vocal now. And whatever he's saying is the truth. He has been saying it before, and it's still the truth. The simple truth is that things are getting worse. Every day, daily basis, things are getting worse. He's saying the truth. Tinubu, we are even saying Buhari is even far better than Tinubu now.
You see that what he said? He said,
yeah, and we are not supposed to miss him because he was worse. We are not supposed to miss him, but because Tinubu is clueless.
Okay, let's leave that very issue of clueless. Now, every Nigerian knows there's a rant going on.
Yeah, 30 days rant.
But that is not going to help Nigerians. What is going to help Nigerians is constructive, going back to know what the problem is and trying to provide strategic solutions that will solve this
Does
problem.
he take the advice?
So it is not about it's about what the citizens are doing. It's about the reactions of citizens. And from what you have said, P2B's reaction is coming out from a kind of a force like spiritual in nature. You understand? Because I mean, for him to to talk like angrily, which is not his nature, is telling you he's biting. That what is happening in Nigeria right now, especially that of Rivers State emergency reason. So, Mr. Obin Okoro, can you please, I know you are good with, you have done projects, you have visited this Rivers State we're talking about and all of that. So you know the creeks, you know what is really going on. But a little bit of your thoughts on what His Excellency P2B, his reaction. What are your thoughts on that, and also what happened?
Okay.
What happened in Rivers State?
The reaction of P2B was timely, and whatever the spirit that led him to speak out should be sustained, because things are getting worse in Nigeria. The way things are going, Nigeria is sitting on the keg of gunpowder. What happened in Rivers State is a case of coup.
Civilian coup.
Civilian coup. And it has never happened in Nigeria before.
Or president's impeachment.
The other president that have declared state of emergency, you don't remove an elected officer, elected governor, with their elected House of Assembly member. If there is a problem, if it is the pipeline that was blown, that you take you use as a yardstick to go and declare emergency in Rivers State, that is a federal government issue. Tompolo is there. The federal government gave him the contract to manage the waterway security. The armed forces, the Navy are there. So are they not supposed to monitor the pipeline and protect the pipeline? And you are removing an elected
job?
It's not Fubara's job. It's not the governor's job. So declaring emergency rule in Rivers State is out of it. It is unconstitutional. It's unconstitutional. So that should be revisited.
So the outburst or the coming from P2B, you say, is timely.
It's very
okay.
timely.
Let's quickly take the view of Mr. Ofodele, Chris Ofodele. Let's quickly take your take on this, if you can hear me.
Okay.
Everybody out, destroy everything. We must check
The issue of state of emergency in Rivers State.
Yeah, but let's
I had been
look at
raging.
it from but let's take it from the point of His Excellency P2B's reaction, because that is what is making this to resurface. That is the trending news. Everybody's like, wow, P2B seems like there's a spirit that has gotten into him. I mean, he just his soft voice that he's speaking, but the voice that is coming out from him seems right now like what it should be. Your thoughts?
His Excellency Mr. Peter B is always known to be dynamic, just as his name goes, Peter, and people typical of the Anambra people, they will refer to him as Okute. You know what stone signifies. You cannot have gone through what he has gone through prior to 2023 presidential election and after 2023 post general election, and then remain the same. He has an ambition. He's seriously desiring to lead Nigeria or put Nigeria on the path of progress. You can see the burning desire in him. There's no doubt that he will go all out to do what he has to do. As to being spiritual, I heard angels say, well, everybody would have to. I've always known him as a very spiritual person. the much I know about him. There's nobody that will remain the same with the way things are going. He's fighting harder. An ordinary person on the street or any part of Nigeria feels it, feels the pinch. How much more those that are at higher level? Because as big as you may be, the demand, the pressure will be on you. And let's not forget that Mr. Peter Obi had, on a couple of occasions, mentioned that his friends who has something to do with this government, at a point or a certain point, started avoiding him. And some of them were courageous enough to tell him that they are being threatened not to associate with him. That is the extent to which things had gotten bad. I can tell you categorically that on the day of the presidential election, when the results started trickling in, when Ekiti State announced their results, Ekiti State delivered 300,000 votes. I know what happened. I don't want to bore you with that. Somebody whom I am sure is nothing on Facebook started threatening me because I said these people voted on a bandwagon effect. I know what that means. Because the person is a Yoruba person, he started threatening me. It took someone based abroad to tell him, this man says he's not ready for you. That was the beginning of threats to anybody perceived to be opponents of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And they have a litany of social media warriors, or whatever they call themselves. You can see that even meted on the former President Olusegun Obasanjo and many others. Look at how they addressed the president, former President Goodluck Jonathan, because they hold him in high esteem and they've been warned not to insult him. Same goes for Professor Wole Soyinka. Now, whomever they perceive to be criticizing what they do, they would, because the government is unpopular, and they know that whomever, once that begin to, come higher, it will begin to impede on their image internationally, because the international community know that the government, the man is riding on an unpopular mandate. So what His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi is doing is like the stone has gone through the fire and is re-energized. He cannot continue, he cannot succeed with the former him. And I expect to see more of him. I expect to see a rebranded Peter Obi. I expect to see a man with more force and more fierce. Because Nigeria, you can't achieve anything with gentility. He already knows that. And go to his reactions. There's nobody that will keep quiet. You cannot beat a child and ask that child and force that child not to cry. What we are facing now is a result of our own failure as citizens to stand up against what is hurting us. We are just folding our arms and we are watching. The president has just tested. I was going to say, the president, after his inauguration, declared state of emergency in agriculture. I don't know what has been achieved. It's going to 2 years. I have not seen any progress in that regard. The president, I thought, declared state of emergency in education. I have not seen any progress. I've not seen much change. ASU is still complaining. They're only being guarded. They're only using their evil techniques or strategy to manipulate all the unions. We can see that with NLC. We can see that in TUC. We can see that in all the other unions. So there's nobody that will remain the same if you are going through what people are going through today. And to the state of emergency, yes, Section 305 empowers the president to declare state of emergency. But why Rivers State? I could not hold myself when I was listening to the presidential address. I couldn't wait for him to finish. Before then, I knew that the president was complicit in this because the way and manner he conducted himself, the way and manner he managed the situation depicts a person who has interest to the detriment of the people. So when he said, Supreme Court said, when he was relying on the Supreme Court's ruling, he called Fubara all sorts of names. He did not also factor in, he was no longer mentioning the other parties. Fubara was just the main person he was referring to. And I thought the president was not fair to that governor. I thought it was the entire people turning against the governor of Rivers State. The guy was unjustly treated, and that's so unfair. And to mess the whole thing up, the people we sent to represent us at the National Assembly chose to insult us. They looked us in the face and they decided that we do not matter because they got to the position or they got to the National Assembly by hook and crook. We know few of them that were elected by the people. So I still hold us citizens responsible for what is happening by failing to take responsibility, by looking onto another as if this person, that it must be this person first before me. So until we take responsibility for what is happening in Nigeria, we are not going to see any change anytime soon. And I bet you that until the Rivers State people, the Rivers State elders, Rivers State political bigwigs wedding the way they should, the state of emergency in Rivers State may linger. And this is a very good time for the presidency and the Nyesom Wike team or party to consolidate on whatever they're strategizing. Because the moment they gain their ground solidly, that is just buy for Rivers. And then let's not forget that we know how the election was won and lost in Rivers State. So how much more? What will happen now that the president is in power of incumbency and all that? So I feel the whole thing still come back to us as citizens. Everything that has happened because we feel we don't have a responsibility. We don't understand our constitutional mandate to intervene in situations like this.
Okay, thank you on that. Let's quickly, because of our time is running so fast, but I think you are very apt on this, Mr. Chris. Now, let's even look inward, starting with Mr. Obinna Okoro, Honorable Obinna Okoro, sorry. From the community perspective, we have a representative at the National Assembly and a senator that is representing your constituency, which is obviously my constituency too. That is Senator Dr. Victor Ome. Now, in this Rivers State issue, I don't want to join issues with the $5,000 allegation, $10,000 allegation. But looking at it from the voting, many people said that Senator Victor May is voted for Rivers State to be put on this emergency position. But I think he has refuted the allegation because he said he was not even part of that meeting that was held, that he was never anywhere.
Was there.
He was where?
He was there. He said he went for prayers.
He went
for prayers.
Okay.
Of breaking of fast. He said he went there.
He went there.
Yeah, he went there for prayers.
So on the voice, are you saying that on the voice vote that they said or they are alleged to have had, are you saying that Victor May voted in favor of an emergency room for River State?
Yes.
I don't believe that he will do that, because he has to get the consent from the constituents, and we are the constituents.
Okay, let me come in from that
Okay.
angle. Since Victor Ume went to Senate to represent us, we have not heard from him. Up to today, the constituents, not only me, my people at the ward level, at local government level, everybody is complaining. There is no project, there is no empowerment from Victor Ume. If you watch all over the airspace, you will see Tony Woye doing empowerment, other senators doing it. It's just that Senator Dr. Patrick Ifeanyi is not there anymore. But if you see the empowerment he did before he died, you will know that this man is representing his people. But from the point of view I have never seen any empowerment from that man.
Wow.
And because of that, we want to appeal to the National Assembly members of Anambra State to always engage the community people when they are bringing constituency projects.
Now, talking about constituency projects, I think that is a matter that we have actually dived in for quite some time. That is what we have been investigating all this while. I don't want to categorically say that Senator Victor Ume has not done any empowerment or has not even done any project, because I've seen some projects, but what we're actually talking about right now is the process of letting the people involved, that is the communities, to be involved in some of these very projects.
That's why I say I have not seen any, because there is no synergy between the community and the National Assembly members who are representing us, because they don't ask the people, what do you need?
Yeah, but talking about that very now, I will engage you on this, because I know a project that Senator Ume brought to your community that was a construction of a mini stadium in, I think, in Jikoka, as the case might be, and you happen to be the person. I found you in the site, investigating what was going on.
It's my community to be precise.
In your community, to be precise. The only thing I can understand from your narration is that your people do not want a mini stadium, or that they were not consulted.
We are not consulted, because we already have one under construction at Orabike Primary School. If you go there, going from that express to Enugu, that bus at Enugu, you will see Orabike Primary School. There's already a mini stadium going on with turf. Sponsored by an Enugu indigene.
Wow.
Handled by Dengos. Chief Anekwe. Dennis Anekwe. He's the contractor handling the project. Then, and all of a sudden, this mini stadium came up. And when this mini stadium came up, the committee were not consulted. Wow. Because the first time they came, it was destroyed. I guess we have the pictures.
Yeah.
Then the second time, they came and went to another side without consultation, and it was also destroyed.
Yeah, I think
wasting materials.
Yeah,
and resources that should have gone into other projects.
Please, you can upload that very video and the pictures for people to see. Now, this very site we are talking about, one is that the first town that the construction of the mini stadium was brought to rejected it. Is that what you're saying?
I don't know, because the community were not consulted.
Yes, and it was taken to another community.
I don't know for now.
But we can see videos coming out from Njikoka, and we see another video coming out from another site, which is obviously showing on the screen if they project it now.
Yeah, they made a mistake again after the first warning that they should consult the community before bringing a project. They went again on another space to do that mini stadium forcefully without the community approval, and it was totally destroyed. That one was even a little level, and the stadium, all the poles are already standing before they came and demolished it.
And obviously nobody know what the people that came and did all of those things. But again, I understand that very project is worth over 480 million naira. Yeah. I saw the contract documents coming from one company based in Abuja and all of that. And even the community are saying they're not carried along. They don't even know when these projects come. I think I see where you're coming from. The grievance coming out from the whole constituent is that Senator Dr. Victor May does not carry his constituents along. And I think that is also evident when we had our town hall meeting that we called for, invited him. He sent one of his aides, I think his Nnamdi Anago, to represent him, where he said that this March that he's going to call for a town hall meeting. Today is 25th of March, and we're yet to see that happen. Anyway, I think we keep our eyes open. And Chris or Fodile, a very quick one. You know, you like taking it longer. We don't have time now. I'll just say, take 1 minute to give us your take on this constituency project. So the whole constituents of Anambra Central Senatorial District are seriously complaining about Senator Victor May not doing much of an empowerment and not being open with the details of the projects that are on the senatorial district. And of course, there's so much distrust. Many people who are saying his handling of project is seen as being deceitful. What is your take on this, Chris Opodele?
Okay, so I'll be quick with it. The legislators have made it a habit not to make recourse to the people or consult with the people before embarking on constituency projects, because they will always hide under the guise that they are not the executive, and then in the case of Anambra, they will always hide under the guise that the governor is not friendly, and that the governor does not, there's no synergy between them, the National Assembly members, and the governor. That's maybe on the one, maybe true on the one. I've had a couple of situations. I have some of them. In the case of erosion menace, there has been some cases where the governor would overpower them, go to the presidency and then secure assess funds and then do that. They can hide under that guise. On the other one, why would they come to you when they bought you over? Why would they come to you when they gave you 500 naira or 1,000 naira for you to vote for them? They will take them like 2 years before they can recover the funds. These days, it takes up to 2 billion, 3 billion, 5 billion to deliver, to get voted into or to get the mandate of the people, so to say. And it takes up to 2 years. So what do? When they get into the assembly, they will begin to scout for the old.
Chris, quick one, Chris. A quick one, and sorry to interject at this point. The Senator Dr. Victor Ume, I don't think or believe that he spent a lot of money in his campaign. Recall that he started with Apoga, and of course, we know what happened in Apoga, and he's coming into the Senate is through the tsunami of the P2B that we know. So he did not obviously spend that kind of money that you are looking at right now, and none of them in our senatorial district did. They all came under that banner and the influence of His Excellency P2B. So they wouldn't have spent anything. But then we are in this constituency. I'm a member of this constituency, and of course, I've seen projects. Our investigation in this senatorial zone shows that we have over 83 projects that is worth over 11 billion naira. Scattered across these very 57 communities in the district. That are in the appropriation. We have all the details of this. But then we are expecting that he should, at least, for the ones he attracted, we see ones that are, the signboards are there. I've visited them myself. I've seen a 2-kilometer road that is not done up to 100 meters. And I've seen schools that were said to be rehabilitated with over 100 million, I think, from Lillian Orobu. I can go on and on. So let's leave the issue of, they spend billions and all of that. None of them spent that kind of money. So we're expecting a representation, nothing short of our transparency and accountability to the people, which is the venture that P2P did. So let's take this I know I've taken a little bit of your time. Just help me to summarize your thoughts. Thank you.
Yeah, projects in the manner that should be done, because they don't engage with the people. There's no town hall to discuss or engage with the people or to ask them to nominate a project, just like some of the executives, maybe the former governor of Adabra, Bilobiano, and then maybe the current governor do. They will ask you to nominate a project. They will not do that, because when you ask them to do that, it will take their time. It will require so many processes. So they will go for the one that they feel comfortable. For want of time, I will not be able to give the details of what they do. But I can also tell you that there are more projects, there are other projects that are impactful, that when you take your time to look through the Appropriation Act, you will see budgetary provisions that the senators that are due to the constituency, that the senators and the House of Rep members do not follow through. You are talking about the ones that they attracted, that nobody is following up. Whose responsibility is it to follow up? You and I. And you and I, or people like you and I, are their otimpus everywhere. Just make a mistake to post it on the social media. You see there are people here coming to harass you for no reason. So these things are there. There are community members in where those projects are cited. People do go about their business as though it does not concern them. But contractors collect money. Perhaps the senators influence this project to get to the constituency. Perhaps they have some understanding with the contractors. In some cases, they will tell you they don't have any relationship with them. Now that this engagement have started, I think it's a good thing to begin to also engage the communities. Maybe go to the street to find out, what do you know about this project? Have you seen the people the laborers who are engaged in this project? That way you begin to take them up. There are many, in fact, it has gotten to the point where these contractors, these legislators may be reported to the EFCC. I am aware that citizens can now petition the EFCC. I've seen that information. When there are uncompleted projects or abandoned projects, there are many of them since 1999. So if we understand our role, I keep harping on this, when we understand our role as citizens, it will be easier. Some of them know that they are not returning to the National Assembly. So they are doing everything possible to gather as much as possible, and then whatever anybody says is not their business. Perhaps that's the reason why they did not honor the invitation. And whatever correspondence you said, I can also tell you that the man you mentioned is not the aide. He's not an aide to Senator Victor Ome. The man you mentioned is a financial secretary to the NBA, Nigerian Bar Association. That is Barrister Nnamdi Anago. He's not an aide to Senator Victor Ome, but perhaps he's a close associate, and he can be sent to represent him. And perhaps he could not give you details of what he's doing because he's not an aide to Senator Victor Ome. So let me leave it at that here.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Chris. Hold it at there. And we also want to thank Honorable Obinna Okoro, who is also a community development expert. Thank you for joining us today. And of course, we have learned from the experience what happened in the communities as far as those mini stadium and other projects that you cited are concerned. We'll continue to engage you and see how we can be able to citizens and our constituents to, to react in all of this. All what we need is just to see the role of citizens to, to strengthen the what do you call it, the oversight function of our honorable members. And I think that is as much as we are going to take right now, Angel.
Yeah, thank you so much, my active citizens, for being with us. Like, share, subscribe. Let other active citizens know what is going on. Yes, we are active citizens. We need to sit up. The Nigeria is no longer interesting. Something is falling apart. Yes, Tinubu is no longer trying. Tinubu and Wike's desperation for 2027 is what led to state of emergency in Rivers State. Yes, let's be truthful to ourselves. Yes, they want to get Rivers by all means for 20, and it's not fair. This is the first time since democracy that an elected governor will be suspended. By who? It's not supposed to be. We need to stand up and say what is right. We need to be vocal now. Natasha is the first person to be suspended for 6 months, an elected senator for that matter. Akpabio did his own when Saraki was the Senate president. Who suspended him? Nobody. Why did he suspend Natasha? Intimidation, bullying. It's not fair. We need to stand up. We need to rant. We need to speak out because we are active citizens. Thank you so much for being with us, Mr. Chris. We appreciate you. Thank you. God bless you. Our honorable in the studio, thank you so much for coming with us. Thank you so much. God bless you. We love you.
Because the fascination these children need something like measles. You see some children, they will have this just to figure mind. Others will get it, they will get blind, they will get deaf, is when they don't have this fascination. So we are begging women, we are begging everybody, even men, to encourage our women to take these children for all the fascination.
So if you bring out money to do roads, these roads are supposed to be taken over by the communities in terms of monitoring. That's why government says you should take ownership of government projects in your community. Onyen Afambo, Namde, Anago, Okiwu. Onyen Baye represent distinguished Senator Victor Ume.
I want to stand on the already established protocols. Professor Obi Orogu would have been here personally, but she's currently not in the country. Ojebe, South Africa, for Pan-African Parliament. By God's grace, she was appointed a member of the Pan-African Parliament from the Nigerian caucus. So let's clap. Now, Odir is the Senate president. That is why, if you see the projects going on in their constituencies, compared with that of the floor members, even if there are differences, they tend to do more because of their capacity and the office they occupy.
All due processes should be followed down to Ndimwe. Now, the third leg of it, take ownership of the project. Now, as cooperative societies, as civil society people, how much do you know if I ask a Kanu from Abuja, for instance, down to your place?
Whichever expertise you have, just put your commitment there. So being active is not being in a party or being in a political group. No, none of that. Being active simply means a citizen who has decided to take action on the things around his surroundings.
Standard projects. So when we look at this, I feel that communities are supposed to participate effectively. Projects in the past have been failing because, like I said, the people were never involved. It is
on us to track anyone that is in your community. Now, more than our laws at least than our laws on our community is not enough.
But there is no participation, no ownership of the project. Hello, nobody was patronizing it because it's not part of what the people need.
Corruption. And thereby, I want the cooperative make a difference. You got to go.
So the fundamental reason for coming here today is what? How can cooperative society be active as active citizens? Every cooperative society or a business unit that make profit and now email succeed here.
I am a full bona fide member of Cross River State from Yala local government in Cross River. By name, Mrs. Mary
Honorable Chuka Nzeku, Esimu Onecha, where be a tata na program the corporate society cover the active citizens. Ebatolanya na ndi na anochitanya the 7 local governments and senate na House of West Gano. First the condemn mother. So interactive section kobo or the at the end of the day amukai jiwa na apple